guys, it's Rachel here and I'm back for another Top 5 Wednesday video. Now, as always, if you guys don't know what Top 5 Wednesday is, it was a group started by Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey, and I will leave her link as well as the Goodreads group down below, so if you guys would like to join in, you are more than welcome to. And so yeah, so this week's topic, Lord Almighty. This week's topic is your top 5 books that have made you cry. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't cry in a lot of books. There is a handful of books that I have cried in, and to be honest with you, I could have probably showed you guys all of the books that I've cried in, but since this is Top 5 Wednesday, I'll save that for another day. But these are just some of the books that I have cried, and some of these books I had uncontrollable fits of sobbing, had to walk away fits of sobbing the last 2 books, and I just so these books are surprisingly in order because I cried some more of these books than the others. So let's just get out of that crap out of the way and let's go ahead and get this party started. So at number 5 is a book that I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I cried in, and I don't even know why I'm embarrassed, but it's going to be We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. Now, by this time I should have already put up my wrap up for the Booktubeathon. And this was the challenge I read was for Read a Series challenge, and this was the 3rd and final book in the Summer Trilogy by Jenny Han. Was this my favorite trilogy? Absolutely not. Was this a perfect trilogy? Absolutely not. Did I enjoy these books? It was okay. I mean, it wasn't a fluffy read. It wasn't anything absolutely groundbreaking, but it was alright. I don't know why though, but I can't even give away why I cried because it would be a spoiler, but towards the end of the book, Belly has to make a decision, and the events that are leading up to it, to the big decision that she makes, I don't know, but it struck a chord with me, and then I got really emotional and I cried, and my boyfriend was like, and my fiance was like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. I can't even 100% say why I got choked up while reading this book, but I did, and that's just the way it is. Number 4 on my list is going to be The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. Specifically, page 350. If you have read this book, just flip over to that page right now and you will know why. Oh my god. So over half of this book I didn't really care for. I guess I could see why people really liked it, but Todd was just really immature and he made really stupid decisions. But then we get to that scene and I am just like, no, just no. And then the rest of the book, Todd has to grow up really quickly. That scene, that particular page breaks my heart, and I cried. I cried because I was like, no, this is gonna be really hard because spoilers, but yes, if you have read this book, you will know exactly why I cried in this video. If you have not read this book, read it so you can get to page 350 and then you can feel the feels. The number 3 on my list is going to be More Than This by Patrick Ness. Now this is super meta, yo. This is a weird book. I am still trying to come up with the words to come up with how I felt about this book. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I've had this book for a really long time, and then I finally read it, and I read this with Stephanie from Annette Walker. I really liked this book. I cried in this book more than once because of the hopelessness that you feel in this book, especially for the main character. Oh geez, Seth, what happens to him in this book is just so tragic, and so many scenes in this book are so tragic. And then when you figure out what is happening in the book, then you're just like, what? What? I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I highly recommend this book. It is really good, but it is so, it's just, there's a lot of stuff going on in this book. It's really hard to explain what this book, I mean, I have no words for this book. I still don't even know what the freak happened, but I cried in this book so many times because of the hopelessness I just felt for Seth. It was just really heartbreaking. And now we get to the 2 books that just tore the pieces of my heart out, just shredded them in just a heaping pile of just poop. At number 2, This Star Won't Go Out by Esther Earl with a foreword or introduction by John Green. Whew! This is my first nonfiction read of the year, and my God in heaven, I cried. Uncontrollable sobs in this book. just the pain, the sheer pain I felt while reading this book was just insane. I stopped many times because I could not continue because my head hurt from the tears. If you guys don't know what this is about, this is the story of Esther Earl, who was a nerd fighter who passed away of cancer, and these are her like journals, her drawings, her short stories that she wrote, and it is just heartbreaking. You know, first off, because she was like 12 years old. Yeah, she's 12 years old, so grown up, so, oh my god, like, reading her feelings and the fact that she's dying, it's such a beautifully written, such a beautifully put together book, and I highly recommend this. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Even like, oh, she's so beautiful, and I cried like a freaking baby. And finally, last but not least, if this isn't on everybody's top 5, I don't know what else would be on your top 5, but The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Now, let me first off say that this is the first book that I had ever cried in. And I'm talking tears in. I cried and cried and cried. In fact, when I finished this book for the very first time, and it was on my Kindle, my original Kindle that my fiance bought me for our anniversary, when I read this book and finished it, he was playing Assassin's Creed, and he stopped for a moment and he asked me what the book was about. I started to speak and then could no longer. I just started to cry. Tears just flowed forth from my face. I love this book for a lot of reasons. I love the book and I love the movie. And I love them both for 2 different reasons. The movie reminded me what it's like to fall in love for the first time, to be young and to fall in love for the first time, and the heartbreak that comes with falling in love. And the book taught me that I'm gonna die. I have never been more aware of the fact that I'm going to die. I have never been more aware of my mortality and leaving my mark on this world than when I read The Fault in Our Stars. This book broke me. And it's not even just because of the big moment in this book, and I know everybody has read, I mean, I hope everybody's read it, but even then I'm not going to mention it. Not even the big moment in this book made me cry like everything else made me cry in this book. Like, I just can't handle it. I've read this book 4 times. I have 5 different editions of this book. This book is just phenomenal, and if you haven't read it, please, my God, read this book. So yeah, those are my top 5 books that have made me cry. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of books that have made me cry, but you know, this is just a few. If you guys want to let me know some of the books that you have cried down below, let me please know. And then other than that, thank you guys so much for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.